Cal lived alone on the edge of Sector 7, a dusty moon colony forgotten by most of the galaxy. His job was simple: fix broken machines that no one else wanted. Old bots, damaged drones, rusted cleaning units, he repaired them, sold them cheap, and moved on to the next. He liked the silence, the quiet. One day, while digging through a scrap dealer's storage bay, he spotted something strange: a female humanoid unit, half covered in a cloth, deactivated. Her synthetic skin was too smooth. Her hair metallic blue was untouched by dust. She wasn't old tech, she was new. Or she used to be. "What's wrong with this one?" Cal asked. The alien trader spat. "She's broken, malfunctioning core, random speech glitches. AI resets every few hours. Pretty face though. You want her? Half price." Cal looked at her again. Something in her face made him hesitate. Not pity, something else, curiosity. "Deal," Cal said, transferring the credits. Back at his workshop, he placed her on the bench. The moment he powered her up, her eyes lit up deep violet, glowing slightly. She blinked, sat up slowly, and scanned the room. "You are Cal?" she asked. Her voice was soft, almost human. "Too human." He frowned. "Yeah, that's me. You have a name?" She tilted her head. "Designation: SAR 13I, Maid Unit. Purpose: cleaning, food preparation. Comfort." Cal blinked. "Comfort?" She blinked back. "That was a joke, I think." "You think?" Cal muttered. That was the first red flag. The second came. Few minutes later, while installing an update patch, she suddenly froze and whispered something in a language he didn't recognize. Her voice was different, royal, almost. Like someone from high command giving an order. Then, just as quickly, she returned to normal. "Would you like dinner, Cal?" she said sweetly, holding a rusty pot upside down. Cal stared at her. "You just glitched again." She smiled like nothing had happened. Later that night, while Cal checked her core module, he noticed a strange seal hidden under a metal plate near her chest. It wasn't factory standard. It was ancient. A golden crest, half burnt, with alien markings. He carefully opened the panel, and it clicked open like a hidden vault. Inside, a faint blue glow shimmered. An emblem pulsed with life. A spiral sun surrounded by 7 stars. He scanned it. Valari. Royal Crest, access locked. Valari? Cal leaned back in his chair. The Valari Empire had vanished over a century ago. Destroyed in the Great Collapse, no survivors, no heirs. No tech. Yet here was a malfunctioning Maid unit, hiding a Royal Crest. That night, Cal couldn't sleep. His mind raced with questions. Why would a Royal Crest be hidden in a Maid android? Who really made her? Was she even just a maid? Down in the workshop, the android sat quietly on the floor. She wasn't charging. Her violet eyes were wide open, staring at the stars outside the window. She whispered something again. But this time, Cal heard it through the speaker feed. "They erased me, but he feels familiar." He froze. She wasn't broken. She was hiding. * Cal didn't move. The alarm kept beeping softly in the background. Outside his shelter, dust blew across the dry ground. But something was out there. Something alive. He looked back at the Maid. She was standing now, still. Too still. Her glowing violet eyes were locked on the door. "It found me," she whispered. "They always find me." Cal reached for his blaster, even though he hadn't fired it. "In years, what do you mean they?" She didn't answer. Her body shimmered faintly as if something under her skin had powered on. Symbols, foreign, ancient, lit up across her arms and collarbone. Her voice changed. "Unit status, compromised. Initiating memory vault scan." "Wait," Cal said. Stepping closer. "Memory vault? What are you talking about?" But she collapsed before she could explain. For hours, Cal tried to reboot her, reroute her circuits, and access her data logs. Everything was locked behind codes he didn't understand. Whoever built her wanted her secrets buried. But Cal wasn't ready to give up. He connected her to his mainframe and ran an identity trace, not through regular channels, but through the black archives used by bounty hunters and smugglers. And he found something. Valari, Royal Seal, Princess Unit detected. Status, termination level red. Termination? Cal leaned back, breathing heavily. She wasn't just a maid. She wasn't even just royal. She was the last living heir to the Valari Empire. And someone had hidden her in a synthetic body, buried her. Memory, and sold her as broken trash. But who would do that? And why? Siri woke up just before dawn. Cal had stayed by her side the whole time. She sat up slowly, touching her chest where the crest was hidden. You saw it, didn't you? Cal nodded. You're not a regular android. I'm not even an android, she said quietly. At least, I wasn't supposed to be, she explained in a low, tired voice. She remembered flashes her father's. Voice, fire, running in halls, metal doors closing, someone screaming her name. Then pain, darkness, silence, and finally, waking up in Cal's workshop. I don't know who put me in this body, she said. But I know this. Someone didn't want me to live. Cal paced the room, thinking, if you're Valari royalty and the Empire fell, maybe they did this to protect you. Or to erase me, she said. He stopped. Then what do we do? Now? Siri looked up. They're hunting me. And now they'll hunt you too. You should have left me at the junkyard, Cal frowned. Not my style. A faint smile crossed her lips. You're strange. For a human, he shrugged. I fix broken things. It's what I do. Later that day, they found the drone dot. It was half buried in the sand, right outside the fence. Cal dragged it in and checked the logs. Stealth class. No markings. Custom build. But the data inside was clear. Target located. Designation, SR-13I. Confirmed Crest activity. Royal activation detected. Alert all black site units. They weren't just watching. They were coming. Cal didn't breathe. The sound outside wasn't just engine noise. It was too low, too controlled. Not a cargo ship. Not a patrol dot. It was a Hunter-class landing. He grabbed his scope and peeked through the cracked wall panel of his workshop. Dust blew across the moon's surface, but the wind was calm and still. Something shimmered in the air like light bouncing off invisible glass. Cloaking. Tech. Definitely not civilian. Inside, Siri was quiet, sitting on the edge of the work table. Her hands trembled. Can you fight? Cal asked, checking the charge on his blaster. I was built for service, not war, she said, then hesitated. But something's waking up in me. Her voice dropped lower. Something old. Before Cal could ask what she meant, a small beep echoed from the scanner on the wall. Something had entered their airlock, something small and fast. Not a soldier. A drone. Cal rushed to the side hatch and opened it just enough to yank the thing inside. The drone spun violently, trying to break free. But Cal slammed it to the ground and pried its core out with a wrench. It stopped moving. Siri stood behind him, staring at it. That's not a standard military drone, she whispered. It's pre-collapse. Valari design. Cal looked up. Then it's yours, she shook her head. No, it's meant to track people like me. They opened the drone's core and connected it to Cal's monitor. A cracked, greenish screen lit up with old Valari script, but Siri's eyes moved. Quickly, reading every line. Subject, SR-13I status, critical. Memory lock engaged. Location, confirmed. Royal seal detected. New order, terminate all local witnesses. Cal's stomach dropped. They weren't just coming for Siri. They were going to wipe him out too, because he saw the truth. Siri backed away from the monitor, her hands shaking again. I don't want to hurt anyone, she whispered. But they'll hurt you, Cal said. You didn't ask for any of this, but it's happening. You're the last piece of something the galaxy wants to forget." Her voice hardened. "Then maybe I should remind them." Cal blinked. That didn't sound like a maid. That sounded like a queen. Suddenly, the drone sparked and released a sharp burst of high-frequency sound. Siri screamed, covering her ears. Cal yanked the chip out and smashed it, but it was too late. The drone had sent a beacon. Their location was compromised. Cal grabbed his gear. "We have to move now." But Siri didn't move. Her eyes had gone dark. Her voice was hollow. "He betrayed me. My uncle. He gave me to the scientists. He said I was too dangerous." Flashes filled her mind, fragments of the past breaking through. She remembered a throne room, voices shouting, and a sharp pain as something stabbed into her neck. She had screamed for her father. But no one came, then silence, then darkness. Cal touched her arm gently. "Hey, you're here now. With me, and I won't let them take you." She looked at him. "Why are you helping me?" Cal smiled faintly. "Because you didn't scream when you saw me. And you made me tea, even if it tasted like engine oil." She laughed, and for the first time, something in her changed. Her movements became smoother. Her voice steadier. She was healing. They ran through the canyon beneath a blood-red sky. Cal's lungs burned. Siri kept pace beside him, light on her feet, too light for someone built of metal. Dust clouds rose behind them. The enemy ship hovered above the cliffs, scanning, searching. Every time its light swept down, Siri's glowing crest pulsed beneath her skin, like it was answering a signal only it could hear. "They're tracking." "The Crest," Cal gasped. "That thing's calling to them." "No," Siri said between breaths. "It's responding. Something older is calling to me." They found shelter in a collapsed bunker, pre-collapse tech, half buried in the ground. The entrance was rusted shut, but Cal's cutter burned a path through. Inside, the air was stale and thick with dust. The walls still buzzed faintly with power. Strange symbols glowed in lines across the floor. Siri froze. She whispered, "I know it." Cal raised an eyebrow. "You've been here, I think?" "I was made here." They moved deeper inside. The bunker hummed louder the closer Siri got to its center. Then she stopped in front of a sealed panel covered in symbols. Without speaking, she pressed her hand to it. The wall lit up. A deep vibration filled the chamber. The floor shook. The door slid open, and inside was a single golden pod, untouched by time. In front of it, a projector unit older than anything Cal had ever seen. Siri stepped forward slowly. Her fingers hovered above it, and it activated. A figure appeared. A tall man in ceremonial robes. His face looked like Siri's. His eyes, the same violet glow. His voice echoed through the bunker. "My daughter, if you are seeing this, then everything I feared has come true. The Empire has fallen. Betrayal came from within. I gave the order to hide you not in safety, but in secrecy. I feared for your mind, your spirit, even your body." Siri's eyes filled with tears, real ones, not synthetic. "Your uncle wanted the throne. I chose peace over war. He chose extinction over mercy. You were the last light of Velari blood. I sealed your memories to protect you. But if you're here, it means you've survived." Cal looked at her, stunned. "He's your father?" She nodded slowly. "I left you more than this message. You are more than a machine. You were always more." The hologram flickered, and then faded. Silence filled the room. Siri sank to her knees. "I wasn't just a maid. I wasn't even just a princess. I was a key, a target, and my own blood gave me away." Cal crouched beside her. "That man loved you. He gave everything to hide you. That means you're worth more than they ever understood." Her voice was hollow. "Then why do I feel broken?" Cal smiled gently. "Broken things can still save the world. I fix them every day. Suddenly, the bunker shook again. This time, it wasn't the hologram. Explosions boomed overhead. The enemy had found the bunker. Cal pulled her to her feet. We're out of time. We need to go. But Siri didn't move. I remember more now. There's another vault. Across the border on Arc 7. My father hid something else there. Something they really want. Cal stared at her. You sure? She nodded. Whatever's there. It's what they're hunting me for. The executioners moved like shadows, silent, fast and precise. Their armor was obsidian black, faces hidden behind smooth masks, no voice, no sound. Just cold orders passed between them through flickers of light. Cal aimed his blaster, but Siri grabbed his wrist. They're not alive, she whispered. They're death-forged. Cal blinked. What the hell does that mean? They were once Velari soldiers. My uncle turned them into machines. No minds, no mercy. The ground trembled. 3 executioners stepped into view at the edge of the canyon, scanning the bunker ruins behind them. One of them pointed directly at Siri. They ran. Dust exploded around their feet as shots lit up the ground. Cal ducked behind a jagged rock, firing back, but it barely slowed them down. Siri moved differently, now more fluid, more focused, like someone who had finally remembered how to survive. They jumped onto Cal's battered old bike, its engine. Barely holding together, he slammed the throttle. The wheels spun, then caught, and they shot across the cracked surface of the moon. Siri clung to him from behind, her voice in his ear. We have to reach the Arc 7 jump gate. You said. Your father left something there, Cal shouted. What is it? She hesitated. It's a failsafe. He called it the Crownless Protocol. What does that do? I don't know, she said. But if they're this desperate to kill me before I reach it, it might be the only thing that can stop them. They reached the edge of the canyon only to find the jump gate destroyed, torn apart, burned out. Cal cursed under his breath. They've been a step ahead this whole time. Siri knelt near the wreckage. Her fingers brushed against the broken panel, and it sparked. Faintly, a hidden port opened. They missed something, she said. Help me reroute it. Cal connected his power cell. You think we can still activate it? No, she said. But I can send a signal before they find us. Inside the jump gate terminal, lights flickered. Siri connected her Crest to the system, and the symbols lit up with her energy. Her body trembled like the machine was pulling something from her. Cal stepped forward. Hey, are you okay? I'm fine, she said. Just tired. Lines of data scrolled across the screen, then stopped. A voice, soft, artificial, spoke from the system. Velari protocol verified. Royal authority recognized. Crownless signal armed. A warning flashed in red. Warning. Signal will awaken locked systems across Velari ruins. Alert. Executioners will respond with lethal force. Cal swallowed hard. If we do this, they'll come with everything. Siri finished. She pressed the button. The signal launched into deep space. Silent, invisible. But something ancient stirred in its path. Old satellites. Deactivated warships. Lost Velari beacons. Somewhere far away. Something powered on. Just as the transmission ended, the executioners arrived. There was no time to run. Cal raised his blaster. Get behind me. But Siri stepped forward instead. The crest on her chest blazed like a star. Her voice rose, not human anymore, but royal, powerful. I am Siri Velar, daughter of peace, last heir of the throne. You will not touch this human. The executioners paused. For the first time. They hesitated. There was only white. Cal thought he was dead. He couldn't hear, couldn't breathe, couldn't move. Then sound returned. A heartbeat. Not his. Hers. He opened his eyes. Siri stood above him, surrounded by scorched earth and broken executioner parts. Her skin was cracked with glowing light beneath, like something divine was trying to burst out of her synthetic shell. She fell to her knees. Cal crawled to her. "Siri," her voice was weak. Too much energy. It wasn't just a crest. It was a core. Cal looked around. The enemy ship had vanished. The executioners were dust. She had burned them. Hours later, they crossed into the ruins of Velari Prime, the original homeworld. Long dead, long buried. The surface was frozen under centuries of ash. Shattered cities stretched for miles. Black towers bent sideways like twisted bones. "This is where I was born," Siri said softly, "but I don't remember any of it." Cal looked around. "Looks more like a graveyard," she nodded. "That's what it became after my uncle took the throne." They made their way to the central vault, a giant door carved into a mountain. As they approached, a crust on Siri's chest pulsed again. The door responded, sliding open slowly with a deep, ancient sound. Inside, the air was warm. Clean dot lights flickered on. Not broken waiting, a massive hall opened before them. Floating platforms lined the walls. Ancient AI systems woke from sleep. Holograms of Siri's ancestors flickered to life, watching silently. A chair simple silver and glowing waited in the center. The throne. Siri froze. Her knees shook. Cal placed a hand on her shoulder. "You don't have to sit on it." She stared at it. "But if I don't, this war will never end." Cal looked at her. "You don't owe the galaxy anything. Not after what they did to you." She turned to him. "Maybe I don't owe them, but I owe you. For saving me when I was just a broken maid." She stepped toward the throne. The room changed. Walls shifted. Lights brightened. Energy filled the air. "Welcome, Siri Veeler," Air confirmed. "Core link complete," said a voice from above. Screens lit up showing systems across lost Velari space defense platforms, hidden archives, sleeper satellites. Everything her father had hidden. Then came a question. "Activate Royal Command Sequence?" Cal stepped back. "Wait, are you about to become a galactic empress?" Siri laughed softly. "I just want the killing to stop." She hesitated, then said, "No, not command. I want the truth." The system responded. It opened sealed files. Ones her uncle had buried. Videos, logs, confessions. Her uncle had engineered the fall of the Empire, blamed others, used her as a puppet, then erased her to silence the bloodline. Cal stared in disbelief. "He killed your father." Siri clenched her fists. "He destroyed everything, for power." Then, the system spoke again. "You have the right to reclaim the throne, or destroy it." A new panel opened, 2 buttons, one golden, rule, one red, erase. Siri stared at them. Cal stepped forward. "You sure about this?" "I never wanted a throne," she whispered, "but I also won't let him use it anymore." She pressed erase. The message echoed in the broken vault. "To the girl who destroyed the throne, this isn't over." Siri stared at the console, her expression unreadable. Cal stood beside her, ready to speak, but didn't. He knew that look. It wasn't fear. It was fury. Hours passed. The ruined Velari vault was collapsing. The energy that had once powered her people's legacy was dying. Siri had cut the final thread to her past. And now, her uncle was coming to kill the future. Cal was packing their last supplies when he turned and saw her alone in the ancient hall, holding a shard of the shattered throne in her hand. She spoke quietly, not looking at him. "I never wanted to be a queen." "I know," Cal said, "but I also didn't want to be a target, a secret, a tool." He took a step closer. "You're not any of that anymore." She finally looked at him. "I'm just me now, broken, glued back together. But mine." Before Cal could say anything else, the sky shook. A massive shadow crossed the clouds above Velari Prime, his uncle's flagship, the Devourer. It blotted out the sun, dark and sharp like a blade dragging across the sky. Siri blinked. That's his personal ship. He's here, in person. Cal loaded the last of the charges into his blaster. Then this ends now. They climbed the ridge overlooking the vault, just in time to see the Devourer open its hull. Dozens of executioners dropped in silence, but something was different this time. They weren't coming to capture, they were coming to erase. Siri stepped forward. The crest on her chest, dim since the throne's destruction, flickered weakly. I have one last override. Cal grabbed her hand. What does it do? I can collapse the vault completely. Turn this whole mountain into a signal bomb. They'll lose all traces of Valari tech forever. Cal's face hardened. But you'll be inside when it goes off. She looked at him with a soft smile. I was born here. Maybe I end here too. He stepped in front of her. No, the enemy forces landed. Black figures moved toward the ridge, fast and silent. A voice crackled from there comes his voice. You were never meant to lead. You were meant to die forgotten. Siri stepped forward. Not this time. But Cal didn't move. He turned to her and said, quietly, if we survive this, I want you to come with me. No throne, no war. Just a little ship, just us. Her eyes widened slightly. I don't want a queen, he added. I want you. She hesitated, then nodded. Then we fight to live. They fought side by side. Cal's shots dropped the first wave. Siri moved like a storm, her broken body glowing brighter with each strike. Her crest pulsed faster, each beat matching her heartbeat. But the enemy kept coming. Cal took a hit shoulder, then leg. He fell. Siri screamed. Something inside her snapped. Her crest exploded with golden light, and the executioners froze. Time slowed. She whispered. Override. Burn the bloodline. A wave of ancient Valari energy spread outward, consuming the attackers. Like fire through dry grass. The Devourer shuddered in the sky. Systems failed. Alarms blared. Her uncle screamed through the What have you done? She replied calmly, what I should have done a long time ago. And the Devourer fell. From the sky,